The story began, I was up the Russian River. I saw some neighbors from San Francisco and decided to stop where they were at and hung out for a bit and then dove off the bridge, broke my neck.
And the next thing I knew, some people came up and said, your brother's at the hospital, he drowned.
I was pretty sure I was paralyzed since I couldn't move.
I never stopped seeing Bruce.
My family was as supportive as they could be.
Adversity is just part of our life and we know how to deal with it.
If there's something I encounter and I need to go past it, I generally persevered enough to do so.
I mean, he's a great example of somebody who's survived so many challenges.
Fact is I'm here. You know, it could have been over. All of the experiences I've had, all the relationships I've had, all the friends I have wouldn't exist. And you know, there's a lot of people that lives have changed because of being connected to me. And Mike Puccinelli was one of my neighbors, and he said to me, it's pretty shallow under the bridge, and I said, I know where I can dive, because I checked the water underneath. But I didn't know that the river bottom had changed, and I dove in, and I said to myself, you fucking idiot, you just killed yourself. And then I woke up in the hospital in San Francisco.
He dove in the water. He didn't come back up. A med student found him downstream and pulled him out and supposedly resuscitated him.
And I got a phone call from my parents telling me about the accident. And I got on a plane and came up. I didn't like seeing my brother hurt. I didn't like seeing things taken from him.
I didn't want my parents to, you know, be part of my care whatsoever. Because I love my parents, and I didn't think that was their position, nor did I think it was something that would satisfy me. I'd wanted my independence since I can remember, and it was just an extension of that. You know, why go home and go back? The problem with my parents was, you know, they were victims. And at first I didn't realize that. As soon as I realized it, I understood that my responsibility was to make them feel better. Because, you know, it was me that made the decision. It was my responsibility. And it was up to me to make them feel better and feel comfortable, you know, about me being disabled, and also helping them to know that I would be fine.
He had a lot of life and energy to him, and I think that's why he overcame his obstacles.
I went back to school because I was 25 years old, decided that I didn't want to be 30 years old and live with my mommy and daddy. So a friend of mine said, hey, I'm going to register for classes at DVC, would you like to go with me? I went with them, and before I knew it, I left there and I was enrolled in my first programming class. I was on the handicap advisory committee for a few years. The only thing I could get done was the hill up to the library. It was just a straight shot down and stairs. And so I got them to put in the center barrier on a freeway. If you look at the bottom of that hill, there's a yellow crossbar with something that looks like a small center divider of the freeway. I thought at least, you know, if they lose control, they can hit that without maybe going over the edge. I never really thought of challenges. And, you know, I mean, I knew I had to use a typewriter, so I used a typewriter. I knew that all of my books had to be stepped on, every page broken, the spine broken, so I could turn the pages with my mouse stick. They weren't really challenges, they were what you need to do. You know, you meet all those things and you deal with them the best you can. People see the exterior and think that that's what's going on the inside. You have lots of other people going around in this world and you don't know. I mean, they assume that the disability represents me, and yet to some people it does, but when you know me, you know different than that. So the biggest misconception is judging somebody by their exterior rather than you know, finding out what's going on and taking them as a whole.
Bruce teaches us all to live.
You have a choice in any matter of how you want to react to it, and you choose to do that. And if you choose to go under, you go under.
Everybody's going to have struggles, everybody's going to have tragedies, and it's not the tragedies you have, it's what you do with them. We all need support. Support those that need it. Have expectations of those around you and of yourself. And other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, life is good, and if you choose to have that kind of life, then you will have it no matter what happens to you.